Everybody loved you before that.
Well, some people still love
A lot of
me.
people loved you. A lot of lefties loved you.
I was a hero of the left. It's
It
fair
was
to
a
say.
thing. If you drove a Tesla, it showed that you were environmentally conscious,
Yes.
and you were on the right side.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm still the same human. I didn't have a brain transplant since in 3 years ago.
Well, that's my favorite bumper sticker that people put on Teslas now. I bought this before Elon went crazy. I took a picture of one the other day.
Oh, you
I was
found
behind
this?
somebody. Oh yeah, I've seen 3 or 4 of them. People that have these bumper stickers on their car. It says, "I bought this before Elon went crazy." Because when people were vandalizing Teslas,
Yeah.
the most unhinged.
There was an organized campaign to literally burn down Teslas, and we had one of our dealerships got shot up with a gun. Like they fired bullets in the Tesla dealership. They were burning down cars. It was crazy. But the bumper sticker should read. There should be an addendum to the bumper sticker. It's like, I bought this car before Elon turned crazy. Actually, now I realize he's not crazy, and I've seen the light.
People cling to their ideas.
Yes.
They, especially if they've publicly stated these things, they get very embarrassed of being foolish.
Yeah, people most of the time they double down. And
they find echo chambers.
Yeah, but there's the thing is that I've seen more and more people who were convinced of the sort of woke ideology see the light. So not everyone, but it's more and more are seeing the light. And it tends to happen when something happens that really directly affects you.
Right.
There was a friend of mine who was living in the San Francisco Bay Area that tried to trans his daughter. To the point where the school sent the police to his house to take his daughter away from him.
Activists at the school that was trying to do this?
Yeah, the school and the state of California conspired to turn his daughter against him and make her take life-altering drugs that would have sterilized her and irreversible.
And how old was she?
I think 14, something like that. He managed to talk the police out of taking his daughter away from him that day, and that night he got on a plane to Texas.
Being much more open to that now. I mean, Wall Street Journal yesterday had that opinion piece that this whole trans thing, there's a lot of evidence is a social contagion.
Absolutely.
And Colin Wright wrote that, and then he's getting death threats now, of course, and on Blue Sky, there's people talking about exterminating him, which is one thing that you are allowed to say on Blue Sky, apparently. You're allowed to say horrible things about people, say possibly truthful things about this whole social contagion, because that's when you get 9 kids that are in a friend group and they all decide to turn trans together.
Yeah,
something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
That's not statistically. A lot of pushback from gay and lesbian people that are saying, hey, if someone did
stop
this
including
to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
the LGBT. It's like, wait a second. Why are we being included all the time in this situation?
Exactly. Especially when my friend Tim Dillon's talked about this, is it's really homophobic, because you're taking these gay kids and you're telling them hey, you're not gay, you're actually a girl.
Yes.
And hey, go make it so that you can never have an orgasm again and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Permanent mutilation, permanent castration of kids is I think we should look at anyone who permanently castrates a kid as right up there with Josef Mengele.
Yeah.
I mean, they're mutilating children.
Imagine you've twisted reality to the point where confusing a child that's not even legally allowed to get a fucking tattoo.
Yeah.
Right? Because you think that you could make a mistake with a tattoo.
Exactly.
A totally removable thing.
Right.
If I wanted to tomorrow, I can go to a doctor and they could laser off every tattoo that I have on me.
Right.
Okay, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
But you get sterilized, that's it forever. Forever.
Yes.
They'll castrate you. You no longer have testicles. You have,
yes, that's not coming back.
Penis. You have a hole where your penis used to be.
Yes.
And this is compassionate, and this is preventing you from
actually, a lot of kids die with these sex change operations. They die. The number of deaths on the operating table, people don't hear about this.
That's how crazy a social contagion can get. When it completely defies logic, victimizes children, does something that makes no sense, not supported by data, all connected to this ideology that trans is good. We got to save trans kids, protect trans kids.
Yeah, and what I want to emphasize is that the save trans kids thing is a lie. If you castrate kids and trans them, the probability of suicide increases. It does not decrease. It substantially increases.
It's just crazy that this is a real issue.
Yeah, it's a nightmare fever dream, and people are finally waking up from it. And my guess is that's probably at least $100 billion a year, maybe 200.
And going where?
I mean, there are millions of these payments. So it's, I mean,
Millions.
Yes.
Millions of payments that are going to who knows where.
Yes. So in a bunch of cases, there are fraud rings that operate, professional fraud rings that operate to exploit the system. They figure out some security hole in the system, and they just do professional fraud. That's where we found, for example, people who were, 300 years old in the Social Security Administration database.
Now, I thought that this was a mistake of not registering their deaths, that people were born like a long time ago and it had defaulted to like a certain number, and so that after time, those people were still in the system. It was just an error of the way the accounting was done.
So that's not true. So there's, or at least one of two things must be true. There's a typo or some mistake in the computer, or it's fraudulent. But we don't have any 300-year-old vampires living in America.
Allegedly.
And and we don't have people in some cases who are receiving payments who are born in the future.
Born in the future?
Born in the future.
Really?
Yes. There were the people receiving payments whose birth date was like in 2100 and something.
Okay, so
next century.
Is there a task
so
force?
We know that one of two things must be true. That either there's a mistake in the computer or it's fraud. But if you have someone's birth date that's either in the future or where they are older than the oldest living American, because the oldest living American is 114 years old. So if they're more than 114 years old, there is either a mistake, and someone should call them and say, I think we have your birthday.
At the end of the day, money is going towards that account that's connected to this person that is either non-existent or
so
dead.
So there was I think something like, I don't know, 20 million people in the Social Security Administration database that could not possibly be alive.
20 million people that were receiving funds?
Most of them were not receiving funds. Some of them were receiving funds. Most were not receiving funds. But so let me tell you how the scam works. It's a bank shot. So the Social Security Administration database is used as the source of truth by all the other databases that the government uses. So even if they stop the payments on the Social Security Administration database, like unemployment insurance, small business administration, student loans, all check the Social Security Administration database to say, is this a legitimate alive person?
Have to be tied to an individual where there's an address where you can check on this person.
No, if you just did any check at all, you would stop this. So that's.
And how much money do you think is being...
Any check, like anything at all, that would stop the fraud, like any effort at all. Yeah.
So there's multiple layers.
Yes.
The Social Security number verifies that this is a real person.
Right.
And then the other systems check up on...
every other government payment and every other government payment system for everything, for, like I said, small business administration, student loans, Medicaid, Medicare, every other government payment, of which there are many. There are actually hundreds of government payment systems, can all be exploited so long as Social Security database says this person is alive. That's the nature of the scam. It's a bank shot.
And so, but all this, is it trackable? Like all this other fraud,
it's
if
totally
they
trackable.
wanted to, they could chase it all down.
Yeah, it's not even hard.
And yet they're opposing chasing it all down.
They're opposing chasing it all down because it turns off the money magnet for the illegals.
Wow.
Because it's very logical to like I'm saying the most common sense things possible. If someone's got a birthday in Social Security that is an impossible birthday, meaning they are older than the oldest living American or were born in the future, then you should call them and say, excuse me, we seem to have your birthday wrong because it says that you're 200 years old. That's all you need to do.
And then you would remove them from the Social Security database and make that number no longer available for all those other government payments.
Exactly.
Wow.